in
5000.
5G millimeter in 5G
So two
networks.
frequency components.
So
I
the
am going
main
to
strength of
mix
IoT
together.
is the impact it has on
5
everyday's
plus
life
1
and the behavior
and
of the
5 minus
potential
1.
users.
We are supposed to get two
And
values.
if you talk about from the
As per the
perspective of business
analog
users, the most
communication
apparent
theory,
consequences which are available is automation.
are
So
we
if I
getting
talk
or
about a
not, we'll
smart
check it.
home, smart office, it is all
5 plus
about
1, 5
automation.
minus 1. Now we got this. This is called
Now,
dual sideband, double
the
sideband,
possible threats, if I talk about the
DSP, double
possible
sideband.
threats which
Now
come
you
from
want to
IoT is
cut
basically your
off
security,
any
your
one
information.
component here.
We say that when
That
information
means
is
you
shared
want
over
to
the
convert
internet,
double sideband
it
into
is
single
possible
sideband.
that for the
Then we have
information
to
to
design
get
a filter.
hacked by somebody else. So there
Design
are
a
a few
filter,
risks, but
pass the signal to the single sideband.
there are more advantages
then you can
also.
get it.
So if I talk about all the challenges, and if I talk about the pros and the cons, I think IoT is still or IoT will be characterized by low resources in terms of both computation and energy. So this is one of the things which has helped IoT to be integrated with D2D or with millimeter wave and to explore these areas in large front.
Yes.
So as you see, some of the IoT applications is smart cities, smart factories, smart energy. So these are some of the places where IoT plays a major role. Before I move to my research problem, I'll add just one more thing to this. We've all heard about something which is called Internet of Everything. Internet of Technology is there, but Internet of Everything is basically the future of 5G communication. So if I talk about Internet of Everything, it is basically connecting people, it is connecting process, it is connecting data, and it is connecting things. So connecting things is basically IoT. Connecting data is basically utilization of your data in such a way so that proper decision making can be done. The third is process. Your data should be delivered, or any information should be delivered to the correct destination in the correct time. So process is very much important. And finally, more than anything, you have to have a human intervention. Until and unless there is, you cannot connect people.
After 5 o'clock, this is also getting
using
animated.
internet or sharing of information is actually a failure.
7 plus 1,
so
7
basically,
minus 1. So both components
what
actually
5G
got
communication has done is that in Internet of Everything, it has added things, Internet of Things, it has added data, it has added process, and it has connected people. So using this has become a major boon. Or Internet of Everything has been a major boon as far as 5G communication is
foundations.
Now I'm going to just discuss my problem. Basically, what we are going to discuss in this problem is a quality of service aware channel and power allocation scheme for D2D enabled cellular networks. So QoS is quality aware, quality of service. So we are basically using channel as well as power allocation, which is a part of resource power. And once your resource and power is set, obviously your interference will be
this is your
controlled.
One mixed
so
signal.
In a way, as
the
discussed,
carrier
we are targeting the
7K.
power allocation, we are
7K
targeting the
carrier
resource
has
allocation, we are also
1K.
targeting the interference
like this. The same
reduction,
setup
which
you
is
can
one of
have
the research areas in the area of D2D communication. Now, if I talk about D2D, the advantage of D2D, as we discussed a while ago, it is capable of spectrum utilization and a very high throughput. Further, D2D users which are in proximity with each other, they can directly communicate with each other without the use of a base station. But the major problem which D2D users are affected is by the interference coming from the other D2D users or from the cellular users. So in this paper or in this work, our major goal was to propose a channel and a power allocation scheme such that we maintain the quality of service for both cellular as well as D2D users. So here the aim was to build or to design a power and a channel or to design or to allocate channel and power in such a way such that we maximize the sum throughput both for cellular as well as D2D users. So both can coexist together. Since this is an underlay scheme, so both D2D as well as cellular users can coexist together and give us a very good throughput at the end. So that was our major goal over here.
So
now
Assume
if I talk about
there
this,
is a speaker.
if
So signal one.
if you look at this diagram
One
over
first
here, you
speaker,
will find
second
out
speaker,
that
third speaker.
we
Three
have
persons are
three
speaking.
cells.
I
Inside
used
the
to give
cell,
for a students
we
for
have
a demonstrate their
a
voice.
D2D pair
Like this.
communicating with each other. We
Um,
have a base station which is at the center.
Filter.
We have CU1 which is the cellular user. So we have X number of cellular user. We have Y number of D2D user. We have one base station.
So when you add all together,
and the entire thing is placed
person
inside
1
a
voice,
cell.
person 2
Now,
voice, person 3 voice, all the voice
the
actually
novelty of this paper is that
mixed with the 20K,
any of the cellular
this
user
is,
channel, that is the one between the ones which are marked in blue, green and red, these are the cellular user channel.
20K.
Mind it, for D2D device to communicate in underlay, they have to use a cellular channel. So each D2D pair, so in our work, what the novelty of our work is that we have tried to reuse the channel pairs in such a way that each D2D pair can use any of the channel
and 30 kilohertz
cellular user channels.
Now you add all together.
Okay. So in this our novelty of the work is that any of the D2D pair can utilize the cellular user channel. Now our work basically is divided into two parts. In the first, we have assigned the channel. We have selected that which D2D. So, for example, if I take the D2D1,
float.
If I take D2D2, or if I take D2DY, so which D2D pair, which D2D pair, which channel is getting used, or for which channel we are, or which cellular user channel are we using for D2D communication.
Like
so first we have to find out
won't forget any foundations.
In order to do that, first what we do is that we divide our problem into two parts.
Now,
first is the channel assignment, followed by the power allocation.
Connect the output with the...
Here, what we do is that we set initial set of cellular user channels that can be reused by D2D. Is our first objective, which is a linear programming problem.
Now if I run
in the second phase, after we find the channel, our job is to maximize the power, or our job is to maximize the sum rate. So if we have to maximize the total sum rate or the total throughput of the D2D user, we have to find the optimal power. So first we find the channel. Out of this, which channel is being shared by the D2D users? Once we decide upon or find the channel, then in that channel, we have to find out what is the optimal power which is required by the D2D to transmit it. Is it clear? So it has been divided into two problems. Yes. We select the channel. First we select the channel which is being reused by the D2D pair, and once the channel is getting selected, we select the optimal power that is required.
So what we are supposed to do is that we have to change the sampling rate.
So this is
how these frequencies of input frequency, which is highest frequency ranges, is 30K. Okay. Keeping that in mind, I am keeping my sampling rate.
The base station over here is a centralized mechanism. There are non-centralized approaches also. We will come to that
then
once
there won't
I
be any
finish
issue.
up with this. So as far as centralized approach is concerned,
now if I run this,
the devices exchange messages with each other using the uplink resources. So why do we say it is using the uplink?
Now we have frequency division multiplexed.
Data communication is
centered
from the mobile nodes to the base station.
Signal is equal
so
to
1K.
Is
10
from
plus
the
1,
mobile
10
node,
so if the data exchange is from the mobile node to the base station, it is an uplink transmission. If the data exchange is from the base station to the mobile node, it is a downlink. So in our work, we have used an uplink transmission.
Almost 75%
now our next
above.
objective
All our discussion
is to was to select the channel. How was that cellular user channel used, or how had we selected that cellular user channel for each D2D pair? Now, we already know that the cellular user spectrum is used by the D2D pairs.
So
now, the selection of D2D pair by the cellular user is dependent on the position where the D2D users are, where the cellular user is, what is the distance between the D2D users, what is the distance between the cellular users,
2G,
and
3G,
the interference that
phone,
arises from the D2D
3G.
user and the cellular users.
So
taking all these conditions into account, we are going to select the channel which has to be, or which can be reused by the D2D pair for communication. So that was our major goal. Now, in order to find that, what we had done in the initial was, we found out the overall channel gain which was associated with D2D link. Now here, GYY is basically the channel gain which is associated with this D2D link.
Do share recording
now capital G here basically represents the path loss constant. HYY represents the fading coefficient. So it is, your gain is always
the
a
recording
square.
of this session they
it
are
is modulus
for,
of HYY square.
Future
DYY represents the distance between the
already
D2D
available
users.
in the
Alpha here represents the path
YouTube
loss
also. I will share all the information
now,
at the end.
My next objective
available.
was to find the uplink transmission power for a
so here
cellular
the way
user.
how
now that is defined by Px of C, which is equal to P of K into DCB alpha S. Now Pk here is the power which is the cellular user, which is present with the cellular user for sending any signal that varies from 0 to the maximum power, which is P max.
Okay.
DCB is defined as the distance
is ready.
between the cellular user and the base station.
Now,
alpha here represents the path loss component, and S here is the control parameter which varies from 0 to 1. Now,
demodulation. What
my
to do
next,
the demodulation?
if I go to
do
the
the same
equation
thing
3,
once
what
again
is my
at the other end.
main objective?
Then
that
you
I
do
have
low
to
pass
control
filtering,
the interference
then you will
which
get
is coming from the other
signal.
cellular
That is also
users.
possible.
So if I look at the equation which is on the
This
left,
is about,
LHS summation of y equal to 1 to capital
now,
Y GYB
what to do
QYX.
about,
So GYB
actually the operation
is
which I
basically
gave,
the channel gain
is called
between the
amplitude
D2D
modulation.
and the base
This
station
frequency
link,
translation is
and
nothing but
QYX
amplitude
is
modulation
the
only,
transmit power of the D2D.
So
So that
if I,
power has to be lesser than the total power used for sending cellular signal. PXC is the cellular user signal. GXB is the channel gain between the except cellular user and the base station, and eta B is basically the noise which is present.
Connect.
After this, what we have done is that, see,
if you see
as we have already told you, that there are two parts to it. The first part is the channel selection path. So in case of channel selection, we have to first select the channel which is there. We have to select the channel which can be reused by the D2D pairs. So for doing this, what we have done next is that we have to maximize. So when we maximize the overall sum rate is basically the throughput. So when we maximize the sum rate of the D2D users, we also see that the sum rate of the cellular user is not tinkered with. So here we are designing or we are selecting the channel in such a way that we are reducing the interference coming from the cellular users, as well as we are trying to maximize the sum rate for both cellular and D2D users. The equation 4 here represents the SNR for a D2D user. Now if you see the numerator GYY is basically the gain of the channel gain for the D2D pair. QYX is the D2D signal power. So in the numerator represents the signal power for D2D user. Whereas if I look at the denominator, the first part, summation of I equal to 1 to y, I not equal to y, g I comma yx, QIX, this represents the interference coming from the other D2D users. So this is also an interference, plus the interference coming from the other cellular users. So GXY is a channel gain between the XH cellular user and the YH D2D pair, whereas PXC is the transmit power of the cellular user, and NXD is the noise of the D2D user. So we all know that signal to noise interference ratio is the ratio of the signal power. So in the numerator we have the D2D signal power, and in the denominator we have the noise and the interference. So noise is the D2D noise, interference coming from the D2D users, other D2D users, and the interference coming from the other cellular users. So when we find the D2D signal to noise ratio, this is how we find out. Once we find out the signal to noise ratio, our next motive is to maximize that SNR. So how to maximize? We use the Shannon theorem, which is V log to 1 plus SNR. So by this we calculate the sum rate. Similarly, in equation 5 we find out the cellular user SNIR also, which is GXB PXC. So GXB is the channel gain of the cellular user and the base station. PXC is the transmit power of the cellular user. At the denominator we have the interference coming from the other cellular users plus the noise variance of the cellular. As told you just a while ago, equation 6 basically determines the sum rate of both the cellular user. RXC denotes the sum rate of the cellular user. RXD denotes the sum rate of the D2D
component, the modulated signal.
We are done with the first stage. So we have maximized the sum rate depending after selecting the channel. Now we have still not selected the channel. We have just found out that
I will
maximize
reduce
sum
the
rate.
frequency of
Now
my
our goal is to select the
signal,
channel.
then we can
So in order to select the channel,
get a
what
very
we
good
do is that we
transition of
basically
this
the ratio of
100
the
hertz.
channel gain of the D2D pair divided by the gain of the XH D2D XH cellular user and the D2 and the D2D YH D2D user plus the cellular noise. So once we get the value of this mu yx and once we get the value of mu yx, this is basically the equation 7 is the channel selection parameter. So once we obtain the channel selection parameter, we have to find out that for YH D2D user, what is the maximum value UYX or the channel selection parameter?
Frequency modulated FM time
once
domain
that
signal
is obtained,
and its
we have
corresponding
so
spectral
once
content.
this
The
scenario is obtained, what we have done is that we have selected the channel and we have also selected the corresponding D2D pair for which the channel is selected. Please understand this.
Theoretically, it will occupy
we select the channel
infinite
from
bandwidth.
here, and once we select the channel, we also select the corresponding D2D pair for which the channel has been selected.
All those things we can realize.
Apart from this, there are other interferences which are there in equation 9. That is the interference that is the interference constraint coming from the other D2D user and the base station, which must be less than the cellular user. And the second equation is basically the interference must be less than the maximum cellular user.
If you connect with the USRP,
provided these two constraints are being done, we move to the next stage.
Sync.
Now the next stage tells us that we have to find the maximum power.
Now,
so
if you keep the
note down that when in equation 10, once we maximize this, once we maximize the sum throughput, this is basically the maximization of the
signal
sum
source
throughput,
which you
where the
generate
phi
at
x comma y is basically a binary variable.
Which is
this binary
broadcasted
variable
in the
phi
space.
xy is basically equal to 1.
Now,
when
FM
the
radio station is
YH
ready.
D2D pair shares the channel
radio
of the
station
XH cellular user. Okay.
Instead
and it is
of the
0 when there is
signal
no sharing of cellular user at all. So
if you connect
when
with
there is
your
no
voice
sharing of any
lightning,
channel, that means that there is no D2D communication in that
audio.
and the 10A, 10B, 10C, 10D, these are all the constraints which have been taken into account. For example, the first constraint is that the D2D power must be less than the maximum value. Second,
so in this way our students actually
the second tells us that the D2D power multiplied by the D2D power coming from the base station must be less than the interference value. Third, the cellular power must also be less than the maximum cellular value. Fourth tells us that the binary assignment value must always be equal to 1. And the fifth one tells us that the data rate of a D2D must be greater than a certain minimum threshold value. And 10F tells you that the SNR of a cellular user must be greater than a certain minimum threshold value. So these are all the conditions which have been taken into account. Mind it, the problem in equation 10 is a non-convex problem. So in order to convert a non-convex problem into a convex problem, because once when we solve these constraints, we find out that this is a non-convex problem. So in order to convert this non-convex problem into a convex problem, what we have done is that we have taken the exponential of the Laplace. Once we obtain the exponential of the Laplace, this now becomes a convex form, and it can now be solvable.
Yes, sir.
This is only solved using Lagrange multiplier method. In the optimization method used over here is Lagrange multiplier method, using which we have tried to maintain the quality of service for both cellular as well as D2D users,
in this
which
way,
is practically seen from the results
we
we
can
have
utilize
obtained. Now,
this
if you look at the
hardware,
figure on the left side and on the right side,
learning purpose,
we have basically
theoretical study
we have basically compared the throughput
experimental
with
real-time
respect to the
purpose.
D2D position.
When you go for a research environment,
now for both the figures, the radius
by
for
your
D2D
own
has been taken to be 15 meter and 40 meter.
And
We
test
see
it in
that
real
for a
time
lesser
as a test
cluster
data.
radius, 15 meter,
For a research
the
purpose,
throughput is high.
for
Why?
multiple
Because
purpose,
when the
we can
D2D
utilize
pairs
this tool.
are close to each other,
So
when the D2D pairs
this
are
is
very
the
close to each
overview,
other,
and,
there is less interference
some,
coming. So once
demonstrations
there is
I want
less
to show
interference coming, obviously the throughput will
is
increase. Second, we see that the plot of the throughput for the various D2D position has been plotted for various path loss exponents, that is alpha value, and S, which is the control parameter. Now, alpha equal to 2 and alpha equal to 3. So we know that lesser is the path loss exponent, lesser is the path loss, less would be the interference. So for alpha equal to 2, if you see from both the graphs, for lesser path loss exponent, we get a better throughput. Similarly, for the power control parameter S equal to 0, maximum power, the maximum power can be achieved. Therefore, if the value of the control parameter is increased from 0 to 0.5, the maximum power cannot be utilized maximum power cannot be utilized for D2D communication. Hence,
continue.
In a proposed method, we can say that for lesser cluster radius of 15 meter and depending upon the position of the D2D users. Now, there is one more fact. You see that when the D2D position is near 20 meters, that is when the D2D users are near the base station. There is interference. Why? Because there is interference coming from the base station. But when the D2D users are away from the base station, that is, it is around 100 to 180 meters, you find the throughput increasing. In this scenario, it is said that the D2D users are away from the base station. They are more towards the edge of the cell. So as the D2D users are away from the edge of the cell and away from the base station, interference is reduced, and as a result, your
synchronization for wireless communication.
Talk about the figure which is on my left side. It is seen that as the distance between the D2D transmitter and the receiver increases, the throughput falls. Why? Because as the distance between the D2D transmitter and the receiver increases, it is bound to have interference. It is bound to have attenuation. As the distance, as the D2D transmitter and the receiver are closer to each other, obviously the throughput will also be very, very high. And again, it is observed that for lesser path loss exponent, that is alpha equal to 2 and S equal to 0.5, you will have a better throughput as compared to the other higher values of S and alpha. In the next figure, we compare the number of D2D pairs with the D2D throughput. So it is seen from here that as the number of D2D pairs increases, so more is the number of D2D pair in the cell, more would be the throughput. Why? Because more amount of D2D communication can take place, more capacity is increased, more would be the capacity, more would be the
running this code.
Similarly, for less path loss exponent and
after seeing the results, then I will come back.
From this figure, we get to know that as the distance from the D2D receiver to the cellular user increases, the maximum D2D transmit power also increases. As the distance from D2D receiver to cellular user is lesser, we do not have a maximum D2D transmit power. This is because
concentration plot.
The control parameter
is actually 16
varies from 0 to 1.
So we are having this is the
maximum
quadrant,
power set here.
Second quadrant,
maximum D2D transmit power set here is
16
25.
means.
So it can be inferred that as the distance from cellular to base station increases for a given
each and every
the value of
4 bits is actually is modulated like
this. Is the maximum value.
So when we convert analog to digital, the digital sequence will be in a binary ones and zeros.
Before I move to the question answer,
this is assigned for 0,
add upon one thing. So if I have to conclude the work which I was talking about over here,
this is assigned for the next value 0, 0, 0, 001.
If I have to conclude the work, I can just say a few points.
16 different
work we have used in efficient uplink resource sharing strategy. We have used an
what is the advantage of this one is that
sharing strategy
from the origin,
for both channel
it will have different
power allocation for D2D communication.
That's why it's called
where
quadrature
D2D
amplitude
user
rate.
is capable of
The amplitude
sharing
is also changing.
the uplink channels of cellular users.
Quad
Second,
the
the channel has been
four
optimized
different
for
quadrant,
D2D pairs such that maximum
quadrature
sum rate
amplitude
can be
modulation,
achieved for both D2D and
amplitude
cellular
and phase
users.
is also changing.
And third, in the first phase,
So,
we use
how
channel
to
selection, which is a
demonstrate
linear
this?
programming
So this is the
problem, and we
amplitude
select
in
the
a time
channel
plot, this
and
is
the
in a
corresponding
constellation
D2D user. And in the next phase,
So,
once we have selected the corresponding
we
D2D user,
introduce,
we
now this is the
optimize
outcome.
the
Now
power
I will
for
go
that
for,
D2D user
things. The
so
random
that
source which is
maximum
generated
throughput, maximum spectrum
and connected to
efficiency
the
can be
some
achieved
two
only
different
for those
sources is
channels.
getting added.
Please understand that the
Hardware
novelty of the work
impairments, in the
here is
sense,
that we are finding the
so we are
optimal power
introducing
only for
some
those
changes
selected
on the
channels,
signal.
not for
It
all
is
the
equivalent
channels.
to
So if we are only
changing
finding the
the
optimal
in
power of the
real-time
selected
impact.
channels, obviously the
real-time
computational
impact
time,
on
the
our
computational complexity decreases.
the signal which
So
we
with
have
this,
produced.
I end my today's lecture. If there is any question, please you can ask.
Then, when things are coming this here, Qt GUI
Hello?
constellation sync. That constellation sync only we are seeing
Hello?
there. Time sync also there. So
If
we are
there's any
seeing both
question,
waveform.
you can go ahead.
Here in a hardware impairment, phase noise, IQ magnitude imbalance, IQ phase imbalance, quadrature offset, in phase offset, frequency offset, all these things was given as a variable.
Yeah.
Now we are going to introduce all these parameters.
What is the difference between CRD2D node and CR node?
Our system. These are all the variables.
CRD2D node and
CR node.
Because of that variable
CR
only,
is basically
we
a
are
cognitive radio
seeing
node.
this.
So cognitive radio is basically the cognitive users. Okay, and cognitive and D2D is basically the combination. You are talking about my slide or
now I'm going
just
to introduce
with respect to CR cognitive?
Yeah, phase noise.
It
When
was
we
like
introduce the phase noise,
regarding nodes only, sir.
you see the
CR,
constellation,
and
quadrature constellation
CR
plot.
node. So
What
CR
effect
node
is
is
coming?
basically a cognitive radio node. Now node is basically a user. We have to
You see
understand
here,
node is
if
basically a
IQ
user, a
magnitude
cognitive
imbalance, if there
radio
is a
user.
change in magnitude,
Cognitive radio user is a user
in the time plot, how it look
who
like,
is continuously
in a
sensing
quadrature
the
plot, how it look like
spectrum
this.
and seeing whether any node is empty
Then
or not. So if he finds that any spectrum
IQ
is empty,
imbalance.
he will tell the secondary user
IQ
to utilize
imbalance,
that
what will
spectrum.
happen?
As far
Its
as
phase actually is
CR
getting
cognitive
changed.
radio and
If there is
D2D
any
node
change
is
like that,
concerned,
what will happen
it is
is,
basically a combination of both.
the demodulator, it
here,
may
the
wrongly
secondary
interpret
user
as
is
the
basically
received
your
signal
D2D
or symbol
in such
as
a case.
000
So you might
as
have primary
some
user as
other
a cellular user,
symbol.
and in
It
this
may
case the D2D
wrongly
basically
interpret or
acts as your
demodulate as
secondary user.
something
So when the
different.
cellular users are not communicating,
Now, if we
you can
change
say
into the other,
the devices which are there,
Q offset,
they can
IQ
communicate
offset,
using the
I
spectrum.
offset, Q offset. What will happen? It is
Yes.
shifting here
Any
and there.
question?
The
Now
second
you
one,
see
is there any
the frequency
relationship
offset.
between
What is the meaning of the
D2D
frequency
communication
offset? It is
and
very
IoT?
important.
Yeah. There
When
is
we
a
receive
huge
the signal,
relation. As I
that
already
received
spoke
signal
about,
frequency
if
and the
when I
transmitted
was
frequency both
integrating
supposed to be the
IoT,
same.
IoT is Internet of Things.
If there is
So
any
here
change in that
basically
frequency, what effect will
we are
be?
integrating
You
many
see?
machines, we are integrating
This is
devices,
effect.
we are integrating
I have slightly increased the frequency.
users, but not human
It is not
beings.
in a position
So
to
it is basically
identify
a
what the symbol is.
congregation or an aggregation of
Either
all the
frequency
machines,
shift plus
so that
F or minus
using
F.
some RFID
Now it is
tag or
exactly
using
0.
some radio frequency tag,
Now I have
where
reduced
data
into
can be
minus.
shared between the
You
users,
see, the
machines,
demodulator, it
users,
cannot
whatever you
detect
talk
what
about,
the signal at
but
all.
without human intervention. For example, a vehicle-to-vehicle communication
these
or a
things we
machine-to-machine
can demonstrate,
communication. So these are
and
all
we can get
examples
the feel of that in
IoT.
real time.
Now,
Oh,
when
these
you
many
integrate
ways
this
the
IoT
signals
or
are getting
D2D,
affected.
as the example which I had given in the
Why
morning,
it is
where
important
we are
is
talking
that
about two vehicles communicating. So you are using
it is if it is a 0,
the intelligence of IoT, and you are using the intelligence of user device also. So the advantage with D2D is that your data can be offloaded easily, your energy efficiency is very high, your spectrum efficiency is very high, and your throughput is also very high. So if you are integrating the advantages of D2D into IoT, it is a very good mixture, or it is a very good candidate for 5G.
If there is any deviation on this, what impact will come?
And there are research,
before
and there are
going for a
huge
real-time implementation,
n number of research
we can
problems
simulate
also
all these things
to reduce the
in hand.
interference when a
And
D2D
accordingly, we
IoT
can
communication setup is being done,
introduce some logic
or
to
how
nullify this
to
effect.
basically configure the
All these
devices
things are
or
possible
configure
like
the
this.
machines
So some
when
chat
there
is
is
coming.
when there is a communication between D2D along with IoT devices. There are various works that when D2D and IoT is combined, how to control the security, because security is a very big issue. So there are n number of research works which are going on in these areas. Next.
I will take
So next one
more demonstration of this. Like
what are the open source tools available to implement cognitive radio and D2D?
Open research, open.
As per my
you can
plan,
the best possible. If I talk about a
GMSK
hardware,
GMSK.
You have n number of SDR kits which are available nowadays. SDR software-defined radio kits are available.
Mod.
As far as hardware
QAM
is
and
concerned,
MRIPSK will
you
be
can
both
also
almost same only.
use
Then I will come for the wireless
USRP
communication
kit, that
model.
universal source peripheral kit, the USRP kits which are available from NI, National Instruments. The number is NI 2520, 2521. So there are n number of USRP kits where you can use one as a primary user, then the other as a secondary user.
Response.
You can even see check your modulation. Your modulation characteristics can also be set using that. And as far as basic programming is concerned, I think MATLAB is the best. There's no other
time to explain each and everything in
which is
detail.
better than MATLAB. You design, you formulate.
If we need it as a hands-on, if it is there, then it will
analyze your system model,
as a workship.
and then you just design. Even as I was talking in D2D communication also,
this will give you
the novelty is entirely in the system model which you
can
design.
Explore more on it.
And then what is the mathematics you use? Because the novelty, if I talk about the method which I have used and the method which has been used by other researchers, they might have used some greedy algorithm, they have used heuristic algorithm, they have used XYZ algorithm. But as far as the algorithm which I have used, the complexity is this, and performance-wise also it is very good.
This plot is actually
mind it, that was a centralized approach. Now you can also apply non-centralized approach also. In case of non-centralized approach, what is done is that we replace the base station with a machine learning system. For example, the work which is done by the base station will now be done by a machine learning system. For example, we can apply a reinforcement learning technique, whereby the base station might act as an actor. You have a critic.
Wireless channel is actually called.
You have a reward. The reward is
called a line of sight.
Estimated in terms of throughput.
Line of sight is called a Rayleigh fading channel.
So in the centralized approach which we have followed, what we have done is that our major goal was to maximize that throughput. Now, if I use a non-centralized approach, in the case of non-centralized approach, you can realize that entire system model using
everything over here.
Some machine learning tool. Now, once you realize the problem using a machine learning tool, say suppose if I use reinforcement learning, my major objective is to get a very good reward. So the reward is similar to what throughput
connect this output with your.
So your objective here is to maximize your reward.
Then it will
For that, what you need actors. Who are the actors? Cellular users, D2D users,
all those.
Base station, these are all the actors. Okay. Who is the critic? Critic is basically a cellular user who is continuously trying to poke with the D2D user.
Here, all things are freely available.
There are n number of ways how you can realize your system model.
Now.
Okay.
Yes.
Please, next question.
So with this, I will.
The next one is also similar to the software only, sir.
Demonstration
Suggest suitable software for 5G technique like D2D, millimeter wave, NOMA.
I again say the same thing.
The other work
MATLAB is the best. If you want to use some tool for millimeter wave, there are two tools which is nowadays very helpful. Is System View. System View is from
Lab at Home.
System
A paradigm
View is a
shift in the
software.
computation.
I think that is
communication and signal processing
provided by Keysight.
Keysight
Keysight is a make. So System View is a software which can be used for millimeter wave communication. Again, I tell you the same thing. I am working with my students in this area, and I tell you practically there is no other tool apart from MATLAB. So now if you see the latest MATLAB tool 2019B, it has the latest features what is required for 5G. Even if you see that the major problem with millimeter wave is that to realize a physical system at such high frequency is not possible. Therefore, for simulation you can also use System View and VSA. VSA is also one software, you can make use of these two tools. Otherwise, for 5G, you do not require any separate.
So I have done a survey.
MATLAB is enough.
So I am skipping all these surveys.
Yes.
That's the next one. How we are connecting this optimization?
If you want to use a hardware whereby you actually want to realize a signal, and then again you have to buy those costly network analyzers. Those are very, very costly.
Hello.
So probably a
excuse me,
network analyzer
sir, are you sharing any
working in
PPT,
30 gigahertz or
so it is not visible.
It would be
just a minute.
Around 80 lakhs or 70 lakhs. It's very, very costly. Not even 80 lakhs. I think it's more than 1 crore. It's around 1.5 crores, I think. So it's very, very costly. So the best part how you can analyze a millimeter wave signal is that using simulation tools such as Keysight. These are much cheaper tools.
Is it
you can buy them. Probably a single user might cost you around 4 to 5 lakhs. I think. I'm not very sure, but
okay.
around
Okay.
that only.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next question.
So,
Yeah, next one.
lab at home,
How we are
a
connecting
paradigm shift
this
in the
optimization
communications
problem
involving
into
research and
Lagrangian?
academics by SDR.
Your
So it is
problem.
initiated initially by
See,
Dr.
if
Sashwat Chakravarti.
you remember the
When I went for IIT
question which I
Kanpur,
told
he
you,
only initiated and he
what
gave
we
a
had done over
guidelines
there was
in which
just a second.
direction. My guru, Dr. K.P. Soman, sir, actually he gave his foundation for this total research work.
Not
this is
shown
the
over
overview
here.
of the
So if
work
you look
done
at this
for the past
equation 10,
7 years on this.
so this is basically my
During that time
maximization
only the
problem.
SDR actually
10A,
came
10B, 10C,
in
10D,
that
10E and
period
10F are the constraints.
from 2009
So how do I
onwards, so
maximize?
around 5 years
This
after the
maximization
SDR
problem
came.
plus
So I was in
alpha
that time.
of these terms.
All the hardware which I have
Suppose
seen,
if
it's the
I
first
talk about
time
these
it was
6
introduced in the
constraints,
market.
when
So
we had tried
we
to
used to
maximize
purchase
this
all
based
those,
on these 6
and we have done
constraints,
experimentation.
2 constraints could not be solved.
Part 1, part 2.
So when these 2
Okay, I
constraints
just
could not
give
be
a glance
solved, we
of
had
this,
added a
so everyone
Lagrange
will get
parameter
have a feel
lambda,
of,
added, multiplied
work
with those
done.
2 constraints which we were not able
So
to
like
solve. So it is basically how you solve
there are
the
other
Lagrange
modules are
multiplier
available.
method is
National
that you
instruments.
take this
There is
maximization
the other
problem,
hardware called
you write the equation
NUAMD,
plus
Blade RF
lambda
and Hack RF.
inside this plus
These
lambda into
devices
the
also
constraints which are
available
not
in
solvable,
alternate
and then you equate
to
that
the,
to 0.
USR.
And then you apply
This
the
will be
concept
cost
of
will
your
be
maximization
relatively
tool,
lower, around
or you optimize that.
10,000 rupees within
You
that
apply
range.
that in our case, we had basically
And,
used exponential of your
This is USRP, which
Laplace.
already I have told.
So once we apply
The features of
exponential of
USRP,
Laplace,
just for a minute
the
I will talk
the equation
DC-26
got
gigahertz.
converted into a convex form. Once
The
it
dual
got converted to a
100
convex form,
megasamples per
we
second.
basically
Each
applied that
sample
convex
can be
tool into
represented by
MATLAB
14-bit
and got that
ADC. That's
results.
very important.
You have the convex tool present in MATLAB.
Digital
Also. It's a
direct
very
conversion.
simple tool which is
Digital
already there.
down conversion,
You can
digital
use this
up
convex
conversion.
optimization tool present in
50
your
to 20
MATLAB to solve any complex, any
of a
convex
megahertz of
optimization
resolution
algorithms also.
Up to
Yes,
50,
next.
all these things, and
The next
minimum
one.
of facilities are available.
What is massive IoT?
And
It is massive IoT. See, if I talk
Architecture which already
about
we
massive
discussed.
IoT, first let me tell about IoT. IoT you already know is
RTLS
basically sharing of your
see, in the
data among the
Guru
machines,
radio, there is a provision.
sharing of data among all the machines
RTLSDR can
without
be
any
plugged
human
in.
intervention, having some RFID
So you
tag.
need not to
Now,
transmit.
if there are
Already transmitted signals will be
massive
available.
n
That
number
you can
of
capture it. The
IoT
cost of
users
this RTLSDR
in a
is around
single cell,
2,500
that is what
to
massive
3,000.
IoT is.
Anyone can order
So
it in through
it is not just
Amazon
a
also
few
it is
IoT, what to say, a few IoT nodes.
You can
It
explore
is
more on that.
n number
So
of
which I told
IoT
you,
nodes present
baseband
in a
RF,
cell. That
C++
is what you call
is
as
Python.
massive IoT. Again, massive IoT is
Physical
also one
layer,
of the research
overall
problems for 5G
communication.
communication.
This is the experimental part which I have done it.
Yes, please.
Community radio scheme.
So next
And
one.
probably
Radio
you
data
see,
system,
within 2
OSK
years we might
based
move
data
on to 6G
communication,
also. I was recently
multi-rate
reading one
signal
paper where
processing like
they've
this.
started working on 6G also.
Many of the
So they
blocks
are now
which you have
expecting,
seen as a RDS and all
we
in
in
the Guru
5G
radio,
talk about having a
when we have done this work during that time,
throughput of
that
100
blocks were not
gigabits per
available.
second, whereas
So we have
6G will
constructed
cater to
by
around
connecting multiple modules
500
like
or
this.
1000 gigabits per
So
second. I
this
don't
is a
know
simple FM
where
radio.
we are going to reach.
So
That's the scenario.
community radio, why
Yes.
it was given is that
Yeah, so
I
next
can
one.
transmit
What
if
is
I
meant
am
by
having a license
throughput?
inside our college.
How to relate it
if you want to
to in the
communicate
millimeter wave communication?
any information
It's
by
nothing
using
but
FM
your
radio,
data rate.
we can transmit it.
So
That is possible.
data rate, sum rate, data rate,
And
throughput are all the same thing. For example, if I give you a
output
simple
of this
formula,
one,
for
say
example,
from
sum rate is equal to
output.
Shannon's theorem
Radio
tells me
data
that
system.
the maximum,
It's another
again if I have to
module.
correlate
Radio
sum
data.
rate,
In FM
throughput,
radio, when you receive, there is a
channel
provision called
capacity, again it is the
RDS.
same thing. So as
With
you
respect to
already
the
must, we have already studied in
pilot tone,
communication
which is, you say
that
that
the
this is a
maximum
one,
rate at which a
band
data can be
frequency of,
transmitted over the
upper,
channel should
L
not
minus
exceed
R.
the channel
This is
capacity.
one carrier.
R is less than equal to
This is
capital C.
another component.
There was
This is
this
a pilot
one.
tone
So your
19K.
throughput,
This is our
the unit of throughput is bits
stereo
per second.
FM
It is
signal.
actually the number of bits
In
transmitted per
addition to
second.
that, data
So whether you take
also is
throughput,
being added.
whether you
Have
take
you
channel
noticed that?
capacity,
Hello FM,
whether you take
or
data
Sun
rate,
FM or
these are
something,
all the
Surian
same.
FM or something.
Okay.
In addition to our
And
audio,
we will only
there
have
will be
a
some
good
text also will be
throughput
coming.
when we have a
That's
good
called a
bandwidth, when we
radio
have a good
data
channel
system.
capacity.
This 58 kilohertz is the frequency. It's used
What
to
was the next part?
test the
How is it
text
related with
information.
millimeter wave?
So
Yeah, yes, sir.
there is some packetizing
So
method for
it's the
that.
same thing.
So we tried it, we tested.
For millimeter wave also, the objective is again the same. Whether you use D2D communication, whether you use millimeter wave communication,
but
your major goal is to maximize the
throughput as a single block.
Maximize the throughput in the sense that if you are sending any data over the channel, your reception of your data must also be very high. So at a time, is it possible or is it suitable for the millimeter wave channel to support a very high data rate? That is all what throughput, data rate.
This is the experimental arrangements which we made.
Even though a millimeter wave has so many obstacles, so much of path loss. So the criteria is
transmitted by using our video, then we have received it.
What is the technical challenge in 5G?
Then OFDM
technical challenge is that it has not been a reality till now.
How to do that?
We are still in research phase.
I am giving the overview.
There is no perfect or there is no distinct technology for 5G yet till now. It is a amalgamation or a culmination of various such individual technologies which satisfy those 5 criteria: high support, high data rate,
without that,
good spectrum efficiency, good coverage, good mobility, low cost, and etc.
BER, EBB not versus BER, we obtained when we did it in for real-time scenario.
What are the parameters that can be considered for cognitive radio and D2D doing research?
Theory and practical results. Both are
there are various parameters. So if you talk about D2D, today we have discussed about resource allocation, interference mitigation. We've talked about
polyphase
power allocation, because until and unless you set your power, how will you transmit your data? How will you know what amount of power is required for D2D communication? Same for cognitive radio also. And, your major objective is to sense the channel.
All these experimentation by giving
first and most important objective is how efficient your algorithm is in sensing the spectrum. Once you have sensed the spectrum, how will you utilize the spectrum for secondary use? So how will you give the channel to the secondary user? And once the secondary user has used the channel, how will data communication be to the maximum in this? So it's again the same thing overall, that you have to work on D2D throughput, you have to work on cognitive throughput, you have to work on the interferences coming over there, you have to take into account the coverage area, you have to take into account the mobility, whether the D2D users and the cellular and the cognitive users are static or they're moving. So so these are the various parameters which can be about the base station. So these are the various parameters which have to be taken into account. Sensing criteria, what should be the sensing algorithm which you use, like this.
That's it, sir.
Next.
Dear participants, have any questions, please post in question and answer box. That's it, sir. No more questions.
Okay, so shall I end over here?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful session, and thank you, Dr. Ranjay, sir. And thank you for giving a wonderful session to our participants. And so, dear participants, if anybody is not enter your unique ID, please enter in the question and answer box immediately. And we are not going to send any feedback link daily basis. Entering your unique ID in the question and answer box will be considered as your attendance. Okay,
see,
thank you. Sorry.
Before you end, I want to add something. That
yes,
it has been a wonderful opportunity given by the faculty members of Vardhaman Engineering College for allowing me to give you a lecture in your prestigious institution. I'm extremely thankful to all the faculty members, especially Dr. Satish Kumar, Dr. Krishna Chaitanya, and Dr. Pramod Kumar. So thank you, and to all the other faculty members. I do not know the names of all the other faculty members, so I'm extremely obliged when the invitation came to me. Secondly, all the participants, you are free to, if not now, anytime. My email ID is already there, ranjay@ei.nits.ac.in. You are free to ask me any question. I'll be more than happy to answer your doubts, and you can feel free to ask any question. You can also visit my institute website also if you have any other problem, any you'll find my contact number also if you have any discussion on these areas. And I would love to have more people working in the domain of wireless communication, because this is a very booming area, and with so many research problems, so it would be very helpful if you can work in this area. Okay, thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So we are closing the session. Once again, I thank you very much, sir, for your session, and thank you, participants.
Thank you.
for us to with a boost to move further. And this is another can. So Rasagulla box. In our canteen we purchased 2 box and we converted into a antenna for design of one radar. For radar applications we need one transmitter and receiver. It's called a tin can radar. In MIT there is a research lab. They did this experimentation. We tried in our lab and we experimented with our facility over. Then we found it, okay, the directivity of the Asian pattern of the antenna is only this much. And when some person is start moving here and there, we found it, there are disturbances on this. So that is also is being observed. So this is the design parameter. And tin can antenna design parameter. Once again we did it. This is the second phase we did. And another thing which I forget. So the GNU radio, the current, you need not to have a laptop also. Even in a Raspberry Pi, we can install the GNU radio. Then instead of a PC, you can have a Raspberry Pi. So initially we faced the problem because the Raspberry Pi itself came first time in the market. We tried it. We faced a problem for computation on the FFT computation. So to solve that, what we have done is, inside the Raspberry Pi there was one module is called GPU. That GPU how to utilize for the purpose of measurement. How to use the calculation of the FFT, then we tried in the different batch processing for that also. And this is another setup. This is in front of our college background. We received for alternate is one satellite signal reception. Receive the signal and decode it. This is experimental setup. Alternate is SDR module connected with the Raspberry Pi. We received it, down converted. Then afterwards, that data is available on our